All right, Frankie Ranks here. I want to give you your next installment of the Beginning Open Chords little lesson series here. Last time we went over the G chord, moving to an E minor chord, going to the A minor chord, and then to the D7 chord. Right? And we were working out that little chord progression. G, E minor, A minor, D7, and back, right? And I gave you a bunch of tips on that. So now we're going to just add two more chords. We are going to work on our C chord, which is going to, the best way to get there is you're going to take that A minor chord. You're going to simply move your ring finger over to the 3rd fret on the A string. So you've got your A minor, and you've got your C. A minor, C. So we can even A minor, C chord. A minor, C. Alright, now we want to introduce the D chord, not the D7, but we're going to get just a D major chord, regular D chord. So this one, we are going to have our 3rd finger on a D note, 3rd fret on the B string. Your index finger is going to play the 2nd fret on the G string, that's an A note. And your middle finger is going to play an F sharp up here, 2nd fret on the high E string. And you are going to strum from your D string. That is our D major chord. And with this one, I'm going to work on going from the G chord. So we're going to play G to the D. It's a little tricky. You're going to just flip the hand. Yep. And this might be a good time for me to talk about G chords. There are different ways to play a G chord. Technically, just your D, G, and B string, that is a G chord, okay? And sometimes I teach to the younger students, I'll teach them to play just the high G note, 3rd fret on the high E, and play 4 strings. That is a G chord. That is enough to be a G chord. It's not a big full G chord, but, and then that brings us to the one we learned in the last tutorial there, right? But now, when we're switching to the D chord, sometimes we want to add one more finger onto this G chord. It kind of gives it a little bit more solid of a sound. I like to call it a rock G. It's a little bit more happening. We're going to bring our ring finger to the B string, 3rd fret, and put your pinky down on the 3rd fret on the high E string. So you've got 4 fingers on this G chord now. And when you go to your D, you're going to pivot off of your ring finger that stays on the fretboard. So you're now going from G to your D, just like that. Nice little pivot, right? So what I'm going to suggest at this point is we take these 5 chords that we've got. We've got the G, we've got E minor, we've got A minor, we've got D7, we've got a C chord, D, and this sort of new version of the G chord. So you actually got 2 different ways to play that G chord. And again, I'll have some diagrams up on this video for you. The G chord, move into that D chord. That's one thing to practice. And then I would practice moving the G chord to all the other chords that you know right now. Alright, so at this point, we're just focusing on getting your left hand or your right hand if you're a lefty guitar player. Just focusing on getting these to sound like decent chords, you know? And practice making those shapes happen. We talk about chord push-ups. You got the shape, lift the fingers, put them back into the shape, lift the fingers, put them back. You can do that with any chord, just to work on making the shape, right? So you're going to go around G to every chord that we've gotten so far. So G to E minor, G to A minor, G to D, G to D7, G to C. And just work on that. Take your time, have fun with it. You're working on building up your calluses and getting the muscle memory from your brain to your fingers and on the guitar neck. Take your time, work on it every day, and I will see you all in the next lesson. Take care.